Okay, so I noticed that new traders, struggling traders, they try to focus on one thing and they think that one thing is going to make them profitable. Now, this one thing could be, it's usually like a shiny thing, like an indicator, and they think that that one thing is going to make them a profitable trader. And unfortunately, trading is not that simple, right? So a good example would be plotting on a moving average on your chart. If it's go above the moving average and it pulls back to the moving average, you buy. If it's below the moving average, right, and it pulls back to the moving average, you sell. I wish it was that simple. Unfortunately, it's not, right? So usually, most people they will focus on one thing and they don't realize that one thing is not a complete strategy, right? Usually, if you want to create a complete strategy, you have to have these four things. I'm gonna show you guys real quick, but I'm gonna show you guys, my complete strategy. I'm gonna show you guys some live trading that I did recently. I actually made close to $8,000 this week, and that's from that's only for just 3 days of trading, right? So let me show you guys what I mean by creating a complete strategy. So hopefully you can actually could create your own strategy, or maybe use some of my strategy, or maybe use my strategy, or whatever the case is. But I want to show you guys what it's like to create a complete strategy. All right, guys, so this is how you create a complete strategy, right? This is the circle right here you want to use in your trading career, right? This is how you create that complete will, right? That complete strategy. So the first one is direction, and every single one of these have subcategories. I'm definitely going to explain what I mean by that. So direction is not just one thing, right? You have multiple ways to look at the market. Levels, same way. Multiple levels to pick, same way. Multiple entries, and multiple ways to look at how to exit the market, right? So direction, most likely you want to look for a trend, but unfortunately the market doesn't trend every single day. So you have to look for range of markets, potential reversal markets, potential breakout markets. That's how I'm looking at the market, right? Because every single day is not going to be a trending day. You have to understand that. If you don't, then you're going to basically just get chopped up, right? You're going to make profits on a trending market, but unfortunately, you're going to get chopped up when the market is ranging, okay? Now, from my experience, most traders focus a lot on this right here, levels, right? Now, it could be equal. A lot of traders do focus on entries too, but I think levels is actually probably more popular when it comes to just that one shiny thing. When we talked about that before, usually traders focus on that one thing. So levels could be maybe Fibonacci, it could be support and resistance, supply and demand, order blocks, fair value gaps, volume profile. So many different levels you can focus on, right? And a lot of people think that that level is the strategy, and it's not. It's just a level. Okay. And from my experience, levels are not the holy grail, right? It's just a level where potential buyers or sellers, might come in the market. And that's it. So a lot of traders will either focus a lot on this or a lot on entries, right? Entries could be double bottoms, right? It could be candlesticks. It could be whatever. It could be volume, or it could be level 2, whatever the case is. So remember I said every single, category has a subcategories where you have different ways to, attack the market. And this is why trading could be a little bit hard in the beginning, because there are so many different variables and different nuances. A lot of traders don't understand this, right? And the way I'm breaking it down right now, I can almost guarantee you a lot of people that's online don't break it down like this, because sometimes it's hard to break it down like this, right? Sometimes it's hard to break down trading in a way where you can actually make it simple. The reason why I can do this is, number one, that's how my brain thinks. I need to break things as simple as possible. And also I lost, for a long time. I lost for like 8 years. So I know a lot when it comes to these markets. So when it comes to entries, you have so many different entries. The market, you can do double bottoms, you can do, pin bars, you can do so many different things when it comes to entries. And also when it comes to exits, right, you can do the same thing. There's no one way to exit the market. You can do a simple 1-to-1, a simple 1-to-2, or you could do, maybe control your trade, right? You could do dynamic exits where, maybe this trade might be a 1-to-1 because it's a slow market, or The next trade might be a 1 to 5 because it's a booming market where it's trending like crazy. So again, these 4 different things to complete a strategy, you have different ways to look at it, right? Even the direction. You don't even have to trade all 4 the directions. You can just say, you know what, I only want to trade trending markets, or I only want to trade maybe 2 markets, maybe a trending market and a ranging market. Whatever the case is, there are different ways you can attack the market, but you have to focus on these 4 different things to create a complete strategy. Not one thing on this thing is a complete strategy. So you can't just say, oh, levels. Yeah, let me look at this smart money level because it's the holy grail. No, it's not the holy grail because it's not complete, right? You have to have a complete strategy. To me, the foundation is always going to be direction, right? So if you lay the foundation right, everything is going to follow. So the foundation direction, because if you get the direction wrong, you're always going to lose. So you have to have that direction correct. Make sure you on point, and then everything else comes after that. So let me go over some trades, and then you guys can see exactly how I'm trading my strategy. All right, so this is day right here, which is Monday. We basically hit all-time high, right? So right now, dealing with these all-time highs could be annoying, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. So we broke in and we kept going up. So to me, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to buy, but sometimes when it's hitting these all-time highs, I might just stay away because it can do 2 things. It could just keep going up, or it could break the high and reverse. So I'm like, I don't know if I trust this, but this was a nice long. I thought about going long. We had a nice demand level right here. I thought about going long right there, but it definitely worked out if I would have went long, but I didn't. So the next day, again, we shooting up, but this day basically was a day where we had the up move, but no continuation. So the way I'm looking at this, we had this trend line break right here, and then all of a sudden we just sold off right at the open. So we created this supply right here, right? Sellers came in the market right here. So volume came in right here. You see the volume coming in right here. And basically, I just went back to this level. I start selling. Okay, I just put a limit order, stop loss above here, right? And then basically, I was just looking for a quick scalp because remember, we still are in a bullish market. So not really trying to look for crazy shorts, but this was a quick scalp to the downside. That was my trade, and I'm gonna show you guys the live trade right now. All right, so here's the trade right here. I'm in the market, and basically you see I'm down $64 already. It's because I got in and I got out certain contracts because I thought I added too much, but I didn't. But anyway, so basically I'm in the market and I'm looking for my target profit, but it's going up a little bit more. So I'm adding this a little bit more to my position while it's going up. But my stop loss is still above that supply zone. So overall, the market looks like it's going my way. So let me fast forward this. All right, so right here you see that basically the market is going my way. We tried to go higher, but we kept hitting that supply, and then sellers came in. So overall, I'm looking at this. I'm like, all right, it looks good. I can't complain, right? It looks good. Sellers coming in. So I'm just looking for the market to go to my TP. So let me fast forward this. All right, so right here, I'm just waiting for the market to hit my TP. It was taking forever. I actually stopped the recording and I forgot to, hit it back on. But basically, this was me just waiting for my TP. And let me fast forward this. And right here, you saw that I'm out the market right here. And I'm up $3,235 for that day. And again, it was just a quick scalp to the downside. Wasn't looking for that much on this trade. And basically, that was it. So let me show you guys the next trade. And before I go to the next trade, let me explain so this actually makes sense to you guys where I went, the complete strategy. So the complete strategy on this day would be, what is the direction, right? The direction is basically to the downside because we broke this trend line, right? Buyers tried to bring this back up. And notice that we couldn't multiple times and we shot back down. So to me, the direction is to the downside, right? Now, the next thing is what? Levels. The level I used was supply, right? I used the supply levels, right? And then Next one is entries. Basically, I wait for the market to sell off, pull back to that supply. I just went with a limit. You can use so many entries. You can just basically get in if you see a rejection at that supply zone, or double top or double rejection, and you get in. So right here, we if you wanted to look for confirmation, we have a double rejection right here, 1 2. You could have got short right here, right? Or just wait for a regular rejection or any type of candlestick that you want, right? And then the exit would be depending on the structure of the market, and you can just go for a fix, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, whatever the case is. This was a quick scalp because overall the market is bullish. So let's go to the next day. So the next day was FOMC. So I really didn't want to trade this day. And it was looking, choppy anyway. So I was like, okay, don't even deal with this day. But anyway, you saw we have FOMC. I really don't trade the news right here. So maybe there were opportunities, but I didn't really, wasn't around to look for it. So the next day is when I decided to trade, right? And basically, again, we are making new highs, right? So we have new highs right here. And what I saw was we had this support area right here. Notice how we have this support area right here. We came back to the support area right here, right? And basically, we bounced off that area. Definitely volumes coming in right here, right? And I actually went to the 1 minute chart, and let me show you that real quick. So here's the 1 minute chart. You can see that we have aggressive buying right here. Volumes coming in, aggressive buying right here. So I said, all right, we have inverse head and shoulder right here. We have support right here. So I just dropped a limit when we came back to right here, right? I dropped a limit order right here. And then basically I was targeting, I guess these highs right here, right? So, you're going to see that on the recording. So basically that was my thought process. I kind of thought, we was going to go to these highs right here, but I was just scalping this just for a quick, pop. But yes, these highs was in my opinion a good target. So let me show you that quick trade, and we're gonna go from there. Actually, before we do that, I had 2 trades that day, so let's show you those, the other trade. So the other trade was a simple pullback trade because we broke the high right here, right? And basically, to me, the way I was looking at this was most likely we're going to try to test the high again. Okay. So when we came back, we came up with some, volume around here. So this is this area right here. So I'm looking at this area as a potential, area where I can say, all right, most likely this area is going to hold because we did shot up with some volume around here. So anywhere around here is a good buy. So that's what I did. I just dropped a limit order. Again, you don't have to do the limit orders. I just dropped a limit order, and basically this was a quick scalp. I wanted this to go to the high, but I got out when it got to around here and I was done. So let me show you guys the recording. All right, so this trade, guys, I thought I hit the record button, but I didn't. But basically you saw that it pulled back to that, we had like an inverse head and shoulders. So I thought that, I recorded it, but I didn't. But you see that I'm up $993.50 on this trade. So let me show you guys the next trade. All right, so I did hit the record button on this trade. So right here, basically I dropped the limit, went halfway into that zone, and basically added a little bit more when it was going down. But basically my target was the highs, but since it dropped down a lot, I was like, you know what, let me just, if it goes up, let me just, get out almost at the high. So let me fast forward this. All right, so right here, guys, you see that I'm pretty much about to get out very soon, and the market is going my way. And basically I said, all right, enough is enough. So when it went above this candle, I believe, and I just got out. So I'm waiting for me to get out. Come on. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know. This thing take forever. Come on. Go. All right. So you're going to probably see me get out very soon. Let me see. Let me fast forward this because it's taking forever. All right. So I'm out the market, and look to the left. I'm up $1,622 for that day. Okay. So that's that trade. And again, that was a quick scalp. I had 2 quick scalps on a 1-minute chart. So let me just break that down real quick. Basically, this day, in my opinion, was a trending day. We just came back to that support area right here. And then basically, I just look for buying, okay, for my entry. Buying, pull back. On the 5-minute chart, you can get in when you see a rejection. So we have a rejection right here. You could have got in right there. And even when it pulled back right here, okay, you could have got in, bullish bar came in. So you don't have to drop a limit. Again, you could look for a 5-minute reaction and get in. So let's go to the next day, which is today. So today, what's going on? All right, so today was a bullish day. And then right here, we had resistance. So the way I looked at today, if you look at today, we had this, let me erase this. We had this level right here that was holding. And then we also had this level right here. So I'm looking at this that, is holding these levels, okay? So I'm looking for a buy anywhere around here. So I went to 1-minute chart and I saw that we had volume coming in right here when we touched that level right here. Boom, volume coming in. So when it pulled back, I just got in with a limit order and I got out for that quick scalp to the upside. And then the last trade I took was the resistance trade. And notice how we went above this right here and we started to sell off. Now we started to sell off. I didn't get in right away because a lot of times I'm more, a conservative trader. I like to see the reactions first, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if you want to get in right here, you could have got in right here. But when I saw the market selling off right here, right, volume came in too. You can definitely see on a 1-minute chart. When it pulled back, okay, I just dropped the limit and then we'll for a quick 1-to-1. Remember, right here, this area right here, trading right here, you're dealing with resistance and you're dealing with support. So you gotta it doesn't make any sense for me to be holding these trades for a long time, okay? So these are 2 quick scalps. Let me show you those trades real quick. All right, so this is the trade right here. When I got in the market, basically put my stop loss and underneath the lows and basically waiting for the market to just break a new high, right? And everything's looking good. Everything's looking good. I see buyers come in the market. I'm not worried at all. It's a possibility I might get stopped out, but I do see buyers coming in. So I'm like, all right, cool. So let me fast forward this. All right, so here we see boom, boom, get my targets, boom, I'm out. So I made a quick $911 on that one. All right, so overall, that was a good trade. And I actually made another trade, so let's go to that one. All right, so this trade, I literally thought I hit the record button, but I didn't. Basically, it was the same trade that I explained. I went short, and basically, you see that rectangle? That was just the box that I was looking at. And when it pulled back, I went with a limit order, added a little bit more when it was going up, but basically it's sold down. So if you look at the P&L, I'm up $3,494.50 for the day. Okay, and yes, this is a live account. And yes, this is my own funds. There's nothing wrong with trading with a prop firm. Might do that in the future, but this is my own fund live account. Okay, futures broker, so you can't really do anything, any crazy things with a regulated future broker, right? So now that's the complete strategy. Again, that was using the whole circle that I showed you, right? Direction, levels, entries, exits, right? And then going from there. Of course, this is going to take time because everything takes time in life, right? But that's how you create a complete strategy. So if you're struggling right now, if you think that a level is a complete strategy, or if you think that entries is a complete strategy, it's not, okay? Make sure you have that complete strategy so you can actually become that professional trader, right? That trader that wants to make profits from the market, right? Now, every single week is not going to be, a green week, but hopefully, by the end of the month, you can be green. Now, that's all I have for you guys today. The best thing I can tell you is back test like crazy, study, 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 and everything else will just fall in line. All right. Until then, talk to you guys later.